how Masahiro Sakurai was saying he was very adamant about not adding Goku to Smash Bros. Because Goku isn't really a character that's popular because of video games. Like, yes, and I can already hear the dumbasses, but Goku, but Dragon Ball has a lot of video games. But I guarantee you, the statistical chance of you knowing Dragon Ball because of cartoons is very, very, very low. Of you knowing Dragon Ball because of video games is very, very low. You probably know Dragon Ball or were introduced to Dragon Ball, the concept of it, from the first time, if you're really old, through the manga or through the TV show, the cartoon, the anime. So Goku is an anime icon, he's an anime legend, but he's not really like relevant in terms of games. Like, yes, there's a game coming out this year and Dragon Ball FighterZ will always remain relevant in the FGC, but as a video game first character, that's not what Goku's known as. People mostly know Goku for being an anime character, and the video games are just like a side venture type thing. They're just a side venture type thing. But let's actually read the story surrounding the beginnings of Super Smash Bros. Oh, I was just making sure my mic was on and I wasn't talking into the void. The story surrounding the beginnings of Super Smash Bros. Series is a particularly interesting one. Shortly after development of wait, hold up. Let me make sure this is nice and large because I could zoom in some. Okay, cool. After development of Kirby Superstar had wrapped up in 1996, Masahiro Sakurai had come up with the idea of developing a 4-player free-for-all fighting game for the Nintendo 64. Initially, Masahiro Sakurai handled the design, graphics, modeling, and animation, while Satoru Iwata handled the programming. One more uncredited employee was also involved to design the audio for the game. At first, the prototype of the game was initially called Kyoto Ginryu, which translates to Dragon King the Fighting Game, which, fun fact about that, actually, I found out that the Ryu or the Ryu part was the name of the city that he got the name from. So it really doesn't translate to Ryu the Fighting Game. I mean, Dragon King the Fighting Game. It really translates to Ryu the Dragon King. The fighting game. The best way I had it explained, because I know what I said sounds like a bunch of confusing mumbo jumbo, but the best way to understand it is, imagine if somebody made a fighting game called Los Angeles the Fighting Game. If somebody was trying to translate the name of that, they wouldn't call it The Angels the Fighting Game. No, because Los Angeles is in reference to a place. Like, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, fun fact about that. And of course, OBS didn't load correctly, nor does it want to close correctly. In process. Now let's ask OBS to boot up one more time. Sorry for that interruption though. Initially, no. Cancel. Okay, I'm gonna give it a second. But at first, the prototype of the game was initially called blah 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 in English. However, Sakurai himself realized that this console fighting game was unlikely to be successful due to the roster's lack of recognition, which is very, very, very true. Whenever you're making a new IP of anything, it's really hard, especially in the gaming industry where there's so many other games, like so many games to play. It's really hard to get your one specific game recognition, because also keep in mind, this isn't current modern day where we have more, where like we have the internet and we have like commercials and all the other conventional means of like marketing and conveying stuff. But with the internet specifically, the number one benefit of the internet in terms of marketing / advertising is it's really easy to target what audience you want to like reach on the internet. For example, if I want to specifically target people between the ages of 18 and 24 that grew up mainly in the early 2010s watching regular show, with something like ads on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, it's easy to target that very hyper specific demographic of people versus 10 years ago you had to spend $50,000 and $60,000 plus to get a commercial on TV airing and hope that it reaches the right people, and hope the right people see it, and hope that the people that you want to see it watch the channel that you pay for the commercial to be on, or channels that you pay for the commercial to be on. Versus now, you could market directly to somebody. Back then, you kind of had to market it very vaguely and have something to capture people's attention. Cause this is before like people really cared about gaming news outlet. Like if you go back to like early 2000s and 90s E3, bruh, them bitches used to look rough. Like how in TV shows like The Office or whatever, they're up there and they got the chart with a pie graph and a bunch of numbers and stuff like that, and our sales went up by this percentage, and everybody got fucking ties. Ugh. Choking them up they neck like this, sitting there in them tight ass suits. Yeah, that's how E3 used to look. E3 used to be considered a business conference within the gaming industry before, you know, it died and whatnot. Or look at Summer's Games Fest. Look at the comparison of early E3 to Summer's Game Fest, and that right there will show you and tell you how much gaming media and things of that nature have really changed and evolved over time. Because like I said, back then, the point of it used to be like for business professionals to talk to and break down stuff to investors and whatnot. And now that they don't have to find investors so they can find the funding to put up commercials, they can send it straight to people. Point is, back then, a good selling point would be something like, have you ever, like an idea that at the time, keep in mind, because whenever you talk about stuff from a different era, you have to keep in mind the times. Like, for example, if I was to tell somebody right now that record players were revolutionary when they came out, if you compare it to modern technology where this is how long, what's a random song I want to see? Jay-Z Change Clothes, right? I go right here to my, let me use real YouTube. Don't want to expose what app that is in fear of shutdown. So right now, if I want to go listen to Jay-Z Change Clothes, boom. Or actually, wait. So I don't get a copyright strike. Let's say I want to listen to a Dub C song called Dub C's, let's see, because I can see a bro whole catalog. Let's say I want to listen to a song by Dub C. It's called IDK Butt. That's how long it takes me to find the song and start playing the song and start listening to the song. Or even if I want to listen to bro whole album and whatnot. I mean, shameless promo. Really, this wasn't supposed to be a promo. This was just supposed to be me showing an example or whatever. But let's say I want to listen to his latest project, Title Under Federal Protection. On the same page where that was, go right there. Boom. Go to his page. Play all.
For limited time at Domino's,
well, I mean,
you mix and match
I had to wait through this long ass ad. Hold on. Y'all not getting for no free promo on for me. Look. I'm already listening to this Dub C's dude's music, which I mean, he's fire, check him out. But that's not the point. Point is, if you compare using a record to modern technology, look how fast it took me to pull up a song that I don't have downloaded on this phone. Back then, if you wanted a song, you had to first off listen on the radio to hear if the lead single, not the whole entire catalog, to hear if the lead single was good. Then, if the lead single was good, you may look in a newspaper and look at a review of it, or ask around and see if you know somebody who had that record or who listened to it and thought it was good. If not, if you ain't have nobody, let's say you listen to music that's vastly different from all the people around you, guess what? You just gonna have to look for reviews, which if you're lucky was in your local newspaper, or you're just gonna have to buy it off the faith, spend $10, $20, $30 off the faith and hope that it sounds good because the lead single sounded good, and then listen to the album. But at the time, the only alternative, well, not the only alternative, but at the time when record players got made, I'm not talking about in like the 80s with hip hop. No. Before that, I'm talking about the 1930s or whatever it was made. Back then, if you wanted to listen to music, you had to wait until that person scheduled a show to go perform their music. After they scheduled a show to go perform their music, you also had to have the availability, meaning if you worked, you also had to have the availability and the ability to travel to that concert. Because let's say the artist you want to listen to, let's say they're a large act that's moving around the world, touring around the world. There's no chance that if you don't live in a major place like New York City, Detroit, Chicago, even though I named 3 dirty ass places back to back, there's no chance that that person was coming to your city. I know I'm off on a tangent, but this is going to wrap around and make sense. That there's no chance that they was going to visit your city. So you just had to hope they was going to visit your city. And back then, if you wanted to know if something was good, there was no listen to a record or something or borrow your friend's record of their music. No, you had to go to their live show. That was the only way you was going to hear their music. There was no CDs. There was no MP3s. There wasn't even record players. There wasn't YouTube, Spotify. There was none of that. You had to wait. You had to hear from somebody that they were good. Find out when they were doing a show in your city, or find out what's the nearest city to you when they're next doing a show. If they're a worldwide actor, you're that lucky. Go to their show and listen to their music. And this is all before you know whether their music is good or bad. You just heard a nigga tell you to listen to their music. That's it. So when you think of technology and things like that, you got to think of how it is at the time, because a lot of the characters that in Smash for now aren't that impressive, because it's like Samus, Metroid. Like, if you're not a hardcore gamer, you don't really know who the hell Samus is. If I show you the average person a picture of Samus, not a gamer, the average person a picture of Samus, and say, who is that? They're gonna say, oh, that's Metroid. They don't know better. Point is, back then, to advertise a game that had all the biggest icons in gaming at the time come together and battle, that was a crazy idea at the time that marketed itself. That's the whole point I was trying to wrap around to, and with that little side tangent. They had to make things that market themselves. Nowadays, gaming marketing is so saturated, it's not the same. You don't have to make games that necessarily market yourself, but the games that do succeed are games that market themselves still, even to this day. With all the saturation and with the industry pushing certain games like Shit Rising, Shit Zero, Shit Dawn. Anyways, all the characters effectively just appeared as faces, bodies, sporting different colors. Masahiro Sakurai, Daddy Sax, felt as though this could be fine at the arcades, but foresaw problems occurring if this sort of game was released for home consoles. I know a lot of people my age range don't really understand arcade culture too much, unless like you're into fighting games. But in the arcade, if you had coins and you saw a game, like, you gotta think, when you went to an arcade, you might have took, if you was rich, you took $1 and you had like, what, 4 quarters? No, that's kind of weak. You had $5 and what's 5 times 4? 5, 10, 15, 20. You took $5. If you was lucky, you had 20 quarters to play games all night. If you was grown and working and you went into like an arcade, $5 worth of some coins, you was balling out for the day. That's a lot of games for the day. Especially if you nice at games, or if you decent at games, or especially if you play the same game over and over and you learn everything about that game to where it takes you a really long time to die off that game. You was lit. You was lit. And in an arcade, somebody's more willing to give a game a chance because it's there. Because if you go to the arcade every day and you play the same games with your friends every day, even now, think about when you on your console and you playing games by yourself, if you play the same game every day for an extensive period of time, for multiple days, you're eventually going to get tired of it. Like, yeah, I know some of you people that play Fortnite all damn day may not understand this because y'all may not be hardcore gamers, but playing the same game every day is tiring. Like, and I'm talking about playing the same game every day for 6 hours a day. Eventually, you're going to get a day where you're like, you know, I might play this game for an hour or two. And then for the other 4 hours of free time I got, I want to play something else. I'm tired of playing this game. So people were more likely to give a game a chance in an arcade because it's just there. You put a quarter in, you try it. If it sucks, oh well. If it's good, put another one in. You know? So, number one, there's things like that. Number two, to get somebody to get up and go to a store and purchase your game back then, and more increasingly now, because physical, like companies are trying to do away with physical because physical costs way much more money and makes way less money than them just stuffing it on a server and charging you whatever the fuck I feel like it prices. Sorry, I had a gas bubble. To get you to go to a store and physically buy a game, it was a bit harder. And also in a store, there's way more competition because you got to think on a store shelf, there's, let's say, 50 different games up there for you to buy. And you probably only know what 10 of those games are. Because keep in mind, this is back in the 90s. Gaming publications was really relegated to magazines and stuff like that. So if you weren't fortunate enough to work at a place like Nintendo that had their own magazine, or you ain't have enough cash to cough up the money and give it to Nintendo or any other Nintendo Power or Gaming Forum or anything like that to get your name and your game in their publication, or like at least get yourself an indie spotlight later on as the indie scene started to develop, you were cooked. Anyways, to solve this problem, Masahiro Sakurai, aka Daddy Sax, considered using classic and iconic Nintendo characters for the roster. While this concept certainly makes sense today, this sort of idea received some pushback then, which is fair because you got to keep in mind Nintendo is very, very, very safe with their brand. They hold their brand very, very close to the chest. They only do things that are brand safe, that don't risk or challenge the integrity of their brand being family friendly. And like, it was to the point to where they didn't even allow M-rated games on their consoles, to where now they allow M-rated games on their consoles, and even some of their like flagship games are a T rating and up and above. Things like Smash, they even have stuff that was limited to only their console for a while, like Bayonetta 3. That's purely a mature game. For those of you who don't know, that game used to be Wii U exclusive, and if I'm not mistaken, legally it might still be a Wii U exclusive. Let me see. Oh wait, actually, no. Let me. Bayonetta. Wait, no. I said 2. PLATFORMS. Yep, it don't. The Bayonetta 2. Nope, I'm wrong. Bayonetta 2 has only released on a Nintendo Switch and a Wii U. Bayonetta, whether you think of it as a Nintendo exclusive or not, is a Nintendo exclusive. It is a game that, as you just seen, only released for Wii U, and the only reason it's on the Switch is because it got re-released. So a lot of stuff changed over time, but remember, as strict as you think they are now, back then they was 20 times stricter. I asked to use Nintendo characters since it was so hard to accurately convey players the atmosphere of the gaming world where they play a fighting game on home console. And Sakurai, during an Iwata Asks interview, let me skip to Sean real quick. During an Iwata Asks interview during the development of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you have some main characters in a fighting game, and when you line up character 1, 2, 3, and so on, the main characters end up blurring together. That is a fact. For example, look at how many ninjas Mortal Kombat has. At first, all of the ninja characters in Mortal Kombat were due to technical limitations. They didn't have the money and the time and resources in development to make more than one unique character design. So they would take the same character, recolor them, and give them a couple different special moves. That's why you have Blue Ninja, Sub-Zero, Yellow Ninja, Scorpion, Green Ninja, Reptile. You have Blue Female Ninja, Katana, Purple Female Ninja, Melina, Green Female Ninja, Jade. You have Yellow Robot Ninja, Cyrax, Red Robot Ninja, Sector. Wait, it might be reversed, but Cyrax and Sector. Then you have Gray/Black Robot Ninja, Smoke Sector. I said Smoke Sector. Smoke. You see how like all of those, as you go on, Smoke/Noob Saibot. But you see how like I can distill several different, what have over time came to become unique characters can blend together Again, like I said, don't think about now standards. If you look at Scorpion and Sub-Zero now, you'll be like, what the fuck? Both those characters play completely different. For example, Scorpion is more of a rush down, mash your head against a controller, bring your opponent to you type character, versus Sub-Zero. He's a more methodical, corner trapping and frame trapping type of character. What are you talking about? But if you go back to like Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, Sub-Zero, Scorpion and all that, or even like Mortal Kombat 4 and Annihilation and stuff like that, you go back to those Mortal Kombats, Sub-Zero and Cyrax and all those characters I listed blend together in their OG and their original games. So this is very much a fact at the time. With the game for the arcade, it's okay for character development to take a back seat since players are content with the fighting. That's a fact. In an arcade fighting game, all you're doing is hitting versus mode. Nobody plays the story in an arcade fighting game. That's why if you go now and you play the story mode for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, there's an actual story with cut. Even though it wasn't the greatest ever, just understand what I'm saying. The point will make sense in a second. Mortal Kombat, I said Mortal Kombat. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, there's what? Oh, there's like a story mode with actual cutscenes, actual character development, even if it's not good. Characters talking, different characters showing off their personality. But if you go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and play the story mode in that game, there's a story in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for those of you who don't know. But if you just played the game, the arcade version of the story mode, the arcade mode, you would never know the story of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now it's very hard to find even nowadays, but there is a story. That's why, for example, if you ever played Marvel vs. Capcom and you wondered where Amingo, Ruby Heart, and Sansan came from, what game they came from, none. All three of those characters are made up. Sansan is based off of a character from an older game, like she's the granddaughter of a character from another game, but generally speaking, all three of those characters are completely made up. Somebody one day sat there and drew a cool character design, and that character design was Ruby Heart or Mingo or Sansan. Okay? So just look at two games in the same franchise that has lasted decades. Lasted 3-4 decades. From the 90s, even though it released in 2000, it was developed in the 90s with the mindset of the 90s gaming climate. A game that released in 2000 versus a game that released in like 2019. Those games are 20 years apart, mind you. It might be more than that, but those games are at least at minimum 15 years apart, because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 released originally in 2011, and if I'm not mistaken, in either late 2011 or early 2012, Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate release, because there's two versions of Marvel vs. Capcom. There's Marvel vs. Capcom Fate of Two Worlds, and there's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Anyway, back to this article. With a fighting game at home console, however, you have to set up the general image or the atmosphere of the gaming world right from the start, or else the game suffers, aka people won't buy it because it looks like it sucks, even if it's good, continued Masahiro Sakurai, aka Daddy Sax. That's why I added Nintendo characters. When Satoru Iwata sought permission from the higher ups at Nintendo, he was flatly denied. Iwata must have really believed in what he and Sakurai were creating, as he decided to take a massive risk and basically do it anyway. Despite being denied, Iwata told Sakurai to go ahead and implement Mario, Diddy Kong, Zelda, Savior, and Pikachu as playable characters for a demonstration. Sakurai, aka Masahiro Sakurai, aka Daddy Sax, wouldn't learn that Iwata had actually been denied permission to use these characters until much later. Had Iwata not taken this massive risk, the Super Smash Bros. Series as we known it would not be here. As a result, the Super Smash Bros. Series has become one of the most recognizable video game franchises in the world. Even a character like the Wii Fit trainer, who joined the roster starting with Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS / Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, aka Smash 4, makes sense with this concept. Though nobody really expected her to become playable, Wii Fit has sold over 20 million as of March 2022, making it one of the best-selling games on the Wii. So many were able to recognize the represented character. The idea behind having recognizable roster is likely one of the main reasons behind Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's success, thanks to its everyone is here theme. To this day, the idea behind having a likely roster is likely. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has sold over 30 million units worldwide and counting, making it the third best selling game of all time on Nintendo Switch so far. It could be argued like that a character, oh, this is the Goku article, that a character like Dragon Ball's Goku would be able to fit this criteria, but Masahiro Sakurai, aka Daddy Sax, has also been adamant that the only characters with origins tied to video games will ever be considered for Smash Bros. And like I said, Son Goku, Son Wukong, the anime Son Wukong, is tied to manga/anime. He's never getting in Smash, unless the only way he'll get in Smash is if Sakurai dies when the next Smash enters development. That's literally the only way Goku will ever make it into the next Smash. Speaking of which, Nintendo President Fukuwara has already confirmed plans to reveal the Switch successor, blah blah blah. Declared he's still creating games for the time being, even though he's mentioned that he was semi-retired. As hard as that man works, even though he needs to take a rest, even though he deserves to retire, he's just one of those people that ain't gonna retire till he physically can't work anymore, until he die. Despite wanting, cause like, I'm not even gonna speak on that, but he's of that generation where you don't stop working till you die. Despite wanting to leave it to someone else, Sakurai, aka Masahiro Sakurai, aka Daddy Sax, doesn't see another Smash Bros. Without his involvement. Assuming development has already begun on the next Smash title, which is very likely, it seems likely that Bandai Namco is once again involved, just like they were. And the rest of this, so peep game. Whenever you're reading an article, I'm not trying to be that peep game and lock in, dude. But whenever you're reading an article, usually about the last 10 to 5%, so basically about the last 1 to 3 articles are usually just them saying a bunch of things that will allow them to put a bunch of tags in the article to improve the SEO, which is short for search engine optimization, which makes it easier for an article to pop up on Google even if you don't directly search for it. So, for example, even though this game is about Smash Brothers, what is another popular video game? Mario Kart 8. What is something that's popular that was talked about in an article? Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. What console is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate on? The Switch. You see what I'm saying? Like these last 1 or 3 articles are just for tag stuffing. Now that I'm done yapping, let's talk hypotheticals. Now, I want to have a conversation about this in the comments. I will admit, I am not the biggest Sonic fan, and also, this is not like an official press release. This is not a leak or anything like that, okay? This is just a random user on Twitter posting a hypothetical. Well, actually, they're presenting it as information, but I think they're memeing it up. But I want to present this as like a conversation for us to have together in the comments. Would y'all or would y'all not like to see Sonic in Fortnite? Because like I said, I'm not a fan of Sonic. Matter of fact, I'm an anti-Sonic fan. But the idea of being able to run around the Fortnite map at super speed, that seems like a fun idea. Or even being able to run up to people at super speed and then what's the name of that move? And then homing attack them. I'm just saying that would be cool. Only thing though that would be kind of confusing is how would a Sonic skin work? Because you know Sonic and Shadow, they got them big ass Dr. Doom heavy ass mental organism designed only for killing head ass sized heads just plop down on their shoulders that be weighing them down, making them walk like this. So if they did do skins where they made it the actual character, like the actual Sonic model, I feel like that would kind of be giving unfair advantage to the opponents, because now they got this huge ass big ass target to shoot at to do headshots. I think a reasonable nerf would be 50% damage, 50% less damage on headshots, but then that would go kind of weird because now it's like oh, then that essentially makes it a pay-to-win skin. I don't know. That's just me theory crafting and me putting an idea out there for a conversation. This seems like it could be cool. I just wonder how would they implement the damn skins. Yo, imagine if they do a collaboration. If Sega does a collaboration, but Sega decides for once to be fucking stingy, they decide to pull a Square Enix and they make it so that the collaboration is just just the default character wearing a shirt with the Sonic logo on it. The shirt just got the Sonic and Knuckles logo, and Sega's like, hey, y'all fuck with the collaboration? Y'all like the collaboration? Hey. But, or even if they did something like this, where they put like Maria in the game, or they put Dr. Robotnik in the game, like, would y'all fuck with that? Would y'all find that cool? Would y'all find that cool? I don't know. I just wanted to put the hypothetical out there. It seems kind of cool. Also, this is something I saw that I wanted to I told you it's not much hard news today, but I saw this and I kind of wanted to go over it and see what the top 5 games releasing this October are, and talk about which ones of them I'm personally excited for, if any of these 5, because if y'all cannot peep, we are in the last full week of September. Time be moving fast. You're old, Unc. You're old, Auntie. You're old as hell. Anyway, let's look at this video. Is it talking or is it just... Okay, it's talking.
Starfield Shattered Space. Now, yes, this is...
I'm personally not.
But one day off...
I'm personally not.
And we missed it last. Shattered Space is Starfield's first expansion and sees you learning more about the secretive space snake worshipping House Faroon. Silent Hill 2, the long-awaited remaster of...
Yeah, hell no. That's a remaster, bro. Why the fuck are we talking about remasters right now?
The forest trap from hell and meet the locals. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. Diablo 4...
Bro, that's a... Diablo Ben came out. This is an expansion. The fuck are they doing?
Enemies like hollows or dregs, and an entire new class, the Spiritborn. Call of Duty Black Ops.
How y'all gonna make a video talking about new game releases and the 2 of the first 3 games you talked about was a fucking remake? Then you talked about a remake, then you talked about an update for a game that came out either this year or last year.
Big new update.
Or an expansion. Yeah, an update. Excuse me. So I was right.
Biomes, fresh enemies like...
The fuck is wrong with you? Yo, who wrote the script for this video? Because whoever wrote the script for this video, honestly, y'all don't need to fire them or nothing. It's not that drastically bad, but y'all need to like sit them down and put them on a probationary period and like help them reframe their idea of new games. Because how you gonna call it new games and you talking about a fucking remaster? Let's take a look at the top 5 games. You know what? I'll eat the L on that. I'll eat the L. I misread the title. I'll eat the L. No, actually, I won't eat the L because Diablo 4 been dropped. It been dropped. That's an update. You said we're talking about games. That's an update. Nah, bro. I can eat the L on a remaster because I thought it said new. That's on me. No, actually, top games dropping this October. So yeah, I won't eat the L on. I'll eat the L on Alan Wake. No, actually, I can't eat the L. Yo, bro, I'm going back and forth. I'm being bipolar in real time. I won't eat the L because the first game you said, and even the person who I'm assuming the person who wrote the script read it. I can't be sure on that, but just for conversation's sake, I'm assuming that the first game you mentioned was a game that isn't dropping in October. It's dropping in September. The second game you mentioned was a remake of a game that's like 20 years old. It's the exact fucking game, but now it's in HD and the female characters don't got pointy titties. The third game you talked about was an update for a game that already came out way before September. So yeah, I am right. Games dropping. That means new games coming out. This video's ass. You need to sit this person who wrote this script down. You need to sit them to the side and be like, yo, bro, next time we tell you to talk about games dropping, talk about games actually dropping. Fuck you mean, oh, we're going to talk about a Diablo update. All the shit coming out in October, you want to talk about a damn Diablo update?
Spiritborn. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Take on 90s espionage.
Now look, niggas that don't play no games are going to have to spend money to buy 2 games this October. Niggas that don't play no games, Niggas that's stuck on PS4, y'all got October to eat and be merry. Y'all got Black Ops 6 and Sparking Zero. Black Ops 6, I'm not gonna lie, if all the stuff I've seen about the Omni movement is true, I'm gonna wait a couple months before I get it because I'm not rushing to buy a game full of fucking hackers. But I'm gonna wait a couple months to get it. I'm gonna get Black Ops 6 and I'm gonna definitely play Sparking Zero on stream. I already got a stream planned for that.
A piece-heavy campaign, use the new Omni movement system in multiplayer.
That looks legit cool.
Of round-based zombies. Dragon.
Oh yeah, round-based zombies. That I'm actually legitimately excited for. I want to see that. I can't wait to interact with that because I love Call of Duty Zombies. It's been a minute since I played a good one that I actually cared about. Probably since Black Ops 3.
The Veil Guard. Explore Thaddeus and...
Which is funny, we talk about Black Ops. They the one with the good zombies because they invented it basically. Yes, I know the first one was Call of Duty 4, blah, 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 blah. Call of Duty 4 Zombies wasn't that good. It was a good idea at the time, but it ages like dog shit.
Companions gets your undivided attention. So which game will you be playing? Are there any we missed?
This one seems like it'll be cool, but it seems like a game I'll get in 2-3 years on sale when I stop paying attention to like the most recent games dropping because I personally do not care about that game. Now, this game, I follow this page called Niche Gamer that like just makes tweets all the time about new and upcoming games that aren't really having a lot of big press. And I wanted to check it out because the screenshot I saw looked like I liked the art style of the game. It also had titties in it, so that influenced me to click on the article and search up the trailer. Oh, look, broke niggas, y'all got another game to buy, PS4. You PS4 users got something else to play. I have no idea what this game is about, but oh, it's supervised by Mishima? Oh, shoot. This game finna be broken as hell. This game finna be evil. It's finna microtransaction you. It's supervised by Mishima? Whoa, I can read, but let's run with the joke. It's supervised by a Mishima? Wow, dude. This Jin cousin? Does this game have anything to do with actual Fairy Tail or anime? And if so, this is another game for you broke niggas to buy. Cause like niggas that don't play no games, they just, I don't know what it is about niggas that don't play no games, but they love to buy shitty anime games that have like no fucking gameplay. Or that barely have gameplay. This looks like a generic JRPG. Ooh, is it turn-based? Okay, the turn-based is a little bit interactive. That's actually doesn't look too bad. Cause y'all know how I feel about turn-based games, but I don't hate turn-based games. It's just most of the time I look at it and it's like, oh my god, now I gotta wait for you to punch me in my face, and then I gotta punch you in your face, then I gotta outstat you, then I gotta do math. I play games to relax, and most turn-based games are either have terrible turn-based systems or are not relaxing, so I just don't want to play them. That, and I wonder, does this go over the story of the Fairy Tail anime? Because if so, I personally don't care, but people who haven't watched the anime or seen the anime don't care. But what am I saying? You niggas like buying games that are 6 years or older, so... And this game is coming out on PS4, so it might as well be 6 years or older. And look, I just thought about it, Wait, where's the fight? Look, it's a turn-based game. Look, it's a turn-based game, so you don't have to worry about your PS4 heating up to the point to where it's trying to transform into an Autobot plane and fly into the sky. I will say, this does have a generic anime video game art style. I don't know what it is about this art style that every anime video game swears to God they're legally obligated to make, but okay. It's just dropping in December? Oh my god, why are you dropping in December? That's bad, bro. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. Nobody's buying that fucking game in no goddamn December. Nobody's sitting here waiting all year going, ah man, you know what game I wish had a sequel? You know why they're not saying that? Because they never heard of the first game. One thing I kind of wanted to mention was, in case you're watching the stream and you don't know. Oh wait, let me turn my music back on. In case you're watching the stream and you don't know. The current mayor of wait, hold up. Actually, I just thought about it. I might get struck for that. The current mayor of New York, Eric Adams, has been indicted and arrested because I don't have the video or anything like that. I couldn't find a tweet about it that summarized everything up. Oh, actually, I can use Glocky Boy for this. Please tell me what happened with Eric 88MS and the indictment in less than 5 BULETERNTS. Forgot. Oh my goodness, I can't spell. My dumbass. Wait, bullet. Wait, isn't that? Wait a minute, isn't that bullet? My dumbass, it's probably 2 L's. Yeah, BULLET. Is that not what I had? Oh, whatever. I added an extra letter in please. Alright, boom. So this gonna summarize what happened. Indictment details. New York City Mayor Eric Adams was indicted on charge. And by the way, this is AI, so some of the information in here may be incorrect. If it is incorrect, I do not know this. Please take all this with a grain of salt. This is just supposed to be a summary. New York Mayor Adams was indicted on charges including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, and fuck that. Do you know what conspiracy to commit wire fraud is? This nigga Eric Adams was basically committing check fraud. This nigga Eric Adams was a swiper. He was a swiper. He was scamming. He was running it up. Yo. Hold up. I hope this don't get copyrighted. If it do get copyrighted, I'll see you in a second. Hold up. This was Eric Adams. This was Eric Adams, y'all. Where did I put the stat?
No, I didn't want to fight. Just smoked your ass right there. I feel like you would just shot.
Wait, hold up.
I know you would.
I'm rich, you're poor, you'll never look like this. You can't even pay for like half of my shit. Take a look at my jewelry, I'm having this shit.
This was Eric Adams in his office.
Come outside, then I'm hit. You see me in public and walk right past. You're just mad you ain't rich. You was supposed to take something from me. It sounds like you never did. I never upped the gun inside the mall. You sound like
What you said? Oh, you said I got an executive order on my desk? I need to actually read over this bill? I need to look over this bill? Bro, you don't tell me what to do at all, cause
you're poor, you'll never look like this. You can't even pay for like half of my shit. Take a look at my jewelry, I'm having this shit. I'm outside, having a blast. They said if I come outside, then I'm hit.
No, I'm not reading it. You didn't hear what the song said? I'm rich, you're poor. Stop talking to me. You ain't never swipe a shove in your life. Don't talk to me like that. Chase BOA, that's all I want to hear. All I want to hear from you is Chase BOATD. Chase BOATD, that's all I want to hear from you. You don't gotta chase BOATD, stop talking to me. That was the wonderful Mayor Eric Adams. Particularly from Turkish sources. Allegations. By the way, I legally have to say, because this hasn't gone to trial, none of this is official, and this is just all alleged information. The indictment alleges Mayor Eric Adams accepted bribes in the form of luxurious travel and other benefits in exchange for political favors. One thing I always said about Eric, and I keep my streams on political, so even this, I'm bringing it up for the memery, but one thing I always say is I find it funny how you're the fucking mayor of New York, and every time I see you, you're popping up someplace with a fucking camera in your face doing one thing or another, like, and it wasn't on some like political, I'm going places to talk about stuff. It would be on some content creator shit. Like, why are you the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, doing a fucking Drink Champs episode? And if you think I'm bullshitting you, Eric Adams Drink Champ. If you think I'm bullshitting you, look, this man has a Drink Champs episode. Look, Revolt City, look at this. I'm gonna mute it, but look, Nori's on the screen, they got the DJ in. Look, this episode is 2 hours long. 2 hours of him sitting down talking at Drink Champs. You're the mayor of one of the most troubled cities right now. The fuck are you doing on Drink Champs, bro? I've been calling dude a content creator for like the last 2-3 years. Cause that's all I see. All I see is you popping up making fucking YouTube videos. And that's just the most obvious, like most press example I could show. But it's like, yo, bro, it feels like he was in office trying to be a celebrity, not handle business. But let's keep reading. In exchange for political favors, such as influencing a fire safety inspection for a consulate building and not making statements on sensitive political issues like blank blank, which that I could understand that one for the simple fact that his concern is supposed to be New York. So why would I focus on that? Not making excuses. I'm just saying that one can be reasonably explained. Now that may not be the true reason, but that can be a true reason. Funding for his campaign. Adams and his campaign are accused. So allegedly they were exploiting the city's public matching funds program by receiving over $10 million. Let me repeat that. Adams and his campaign are accused of exploiting the city's public matching funds program by receiving over $10 million, which they allegedly obtained through illegal means, including foreign contributions. I'm gonna leave that part alone. I'm not experienced enough to talk on that, so I'm gonna leave that part alone. The indictment has also led to significant political fallout with discussions about the implications, city blah 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 blah. Bro, first off, when this picture happened, I said this was weird. I said, of all people to give a key to this city, how the fuck are you giving Diddy a key to the city? The city has over 8 million people in it, and probably 4 million of those are kids. You literally just gave this nigga the key to 4 million kids. Are you dead ass? Like it's just so many things wrong with this picture on so many levels to where it's like, bro, like, this nigga's a content creator. I always laugh. This nigga's a content creator. He's the first mayor in New York history to get arrested and indicted in office. This nigga thinks he's Trump. This nigga got an open case while being a mayor. That's fucking crazy. He's the first mayor to have an open case in office, if I'm not mistaken. It's fucking crazy. Now this one, I gotta drink some water and sit down for it. So table. Hold up. This is gonna be the start of the video. Table. Sit. Hey. Bad table. Sit.